Yeah, no city cars here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all their little carts have red license plates that say restricted.
Protection Island has a history of coal mining, with an active mine on the island from the late 1800s until 1938. It has a history of disasters which have led to many deaths, which is far from the picturesque nature of the island today. In the winter of 1852-53, a Scottish shepherd named Peter Brown was killed near present-day Nanaimo by two indigenous men, one from Cowichan, the other from Sunima. They were tracked down near Chase River and were tried on the ship SS Beaver on the 17th of January, 1853. They were hanged the same day on the southernmost point of Protection Island. That point became known as Execution Point. In 1960, it was renamed Gallows Point. On the 14th of January 1913, the SS Oscar was loaded with dynamite, black powder, and coal from Departure Bay, bound for Howe Sound. It had left Nanaimo Harbor and had gotten as far as Entrance Island when Captain Alexander MacDonald realized the weather was too bad to proceed and that there was a fire near the ship's boilers. The captain turned the ship around and headed for Protection Island with the idea of beaching the vessel. He ran the ship aground at Execution Point, and he and his 5 crewmen used a ladder to escape the ship and hide down a mine shaft. The resulting explosion destroyed the above-ground workings of the mine and fractured the rock down to where the miners were working, causing the mine to start flooding with water. The explosion was so great, windows all over Nanaimo were shattered, debris was propelled into the town, and the post office clock stopped working at 1:55. Well, there were injuries, the worst being Protection Island blacksmith Dan Gray losing an eye. There were no fatalities. On the 10th of September 1918, 16 men lost their lives when the hoisting cable frayed on the cab that was lowering the miners into the mine. All 16 men's bodies were mangled beyond recognition. Clothing and personal effects had to be used to count and identify the bodies. It was later determined that salt water in the air had caused the corrosion of the cable leading to the accident.
Are you gonna blur my face? I don't want anyone in the neighborhood to know who I am. I live on Protection Island, and just have to let you know that no one here is proud of the name Gallows Point. In fact, we don't call it Gallows Point anymore, it's just called the Point. We all know the history of the mine disaster and of the hangings of the 2 young men, but no one's proud of it. Do I feel anything when I go up there? Well, yeah, lots of deaths. Lots of people died in that area. So yeah, I feel something. I feel a lot. I do believe in spirits and ghosts, yeah. Of course, we're all, the same. No, I don't believe in spirits or ghosts. That's crazy talk. Well, I do feel sometimes like there's a coolness, or get a little scared sometimes if I'm out on the point alone at night, but just silly talk in my head. It's just fear. Watching too many horror movies. Yeah. No, ghosts aren't real. When we die, well, I don't think we go anywhere when we die. We just die. When you die, that's it. There's no nothing. You don't go anywhere. I don't believe in heaven. No, heaven or hell, those are fairy tales. Stories made up by people who want you to be good, or you'll have consequences and go to hell. It's all bunk. Don't believe any of it. So what do I feel from the dead men? Just sadness, man. I feel sadness. I think that's what you feel when you go to the point. You feel the sadness for all those families that lost their dads and their grandpas and their uncles, their brothers, you know? That's what you feel. No ghosts, no spirits. No, it's just the wind. It's just a feeling of sadness. I don't believe in any of that. But come to Protection Island, eh? Come check us out. We've got like a Dingy Dock pub and great trails and parks, and you can kayak over from the mainland, yeah? Come on over, check it out. Yeah, come check us out. We're pretty cool. But don't come ghost hunting. You're not going to find nothing. Nothing. I swear, nothing. There's nothing there. Fun stories, great museum, but nothing. No ghosts. No ghosts at all. All right, man. Thanks.
So we're walking around the point here. This is all known as Lighthouse Park and Gallows Point because we're curious where the mine shafts would have come from. Because if they brought the mine from over there and brought it along over to Protection or vice versa, there was a pipe apparently underneath the channel. So that's what we're trying to find. We're just walking around trying to find it and haven't found so far. But I'm wondering if it's over there where that little dock is. Hello, my name is Paula deMontigny. I'm a spirit communicator. We are on beautiful Protection Island, British Columbia, which is just off the coast of Nanaimo. It's a 10-minute ferry ride. And we've come over to see if we could feel energy because I've heard that there's been many deaths around here. There was a couple big coal mining disasters in the Nanaimo area, and in particular, heard briefly about one that the channel running between the mines in Nanaimo on the docks and the mines here, it flooded and there were lots of people that died, lots of men that died apparently. And then there was also, because this is called Gallows Point, and the Gallows Point is where 2 men were executed for murder. So that is the other thing here. So we may or may not feel some energy. I'm going to sit and see what comes up. I'm already feeling it's quite quick. Came into stuffy sinuses. Like I feel like I'm all stuffed up in here. I'm all stuffed up in here and in here. So I'm having breathing difficulties. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm having breathing difficulties and it feels like I'm a male coming in. Definitely male. Whew. Not that big though. He feels like he was a smaller stature, and though he was muscular. I feel like he was he's saying he was hefty guy. I feel like he was a miner. He just gave me a pain in my stomach. So he's giving me all these feelings. So I'm just going to sit with them for a second and see what they could mean. Congestion and everything is from being underground. He's talking about the air and how the air wasn't very good. They didn't have great breathing apparatus back then. And that's probably why I feel all stuffed up in here and I just feel congested in here. The stomach, I don't know what the stomach pain is, but he just gave me a huge pain in my the right side of my stomach, which I believe is kidney area. So I'm gonna feel into that, see what that might be. He's a family man. So he's talking about wife and kids. Wife and kids and leaving them behind. So he did pass. He's showing me floating away. He's talking about floating away and being at peace. So it's strange juxtaposition between what he just showed me with the congestion and the pain, and all of a sudden him just floating away. But it's really, really kind of, I've never had this before. What they're doing is he's showing me his perspective of watching his body float away. Never shown me that before. So this is really kind of unique, and I want to delve into that a little bit. He's talking about the point, oh, this is so cool. He's talking about the point of when you pass. I think he's telling me this because I've been asking Spirit, where do we go when we pass? What happens at that point of departure from our corporeal body into spirit? And this is what I'm feeling, is that I'm really feeling like he suddenly felt no pain. He said there's excruciating pain and then nothing, but he could see his body, which is really cool. Yeah. See his body floating. But it's not a very pretty picture because you can see lots of bodies floating. And it's dark there. It's dark down there. If I didn't know the story of the mind, I wish I didn't know it now, but if I didn't know the story of the mind, I'd be wondering where they were, because it's very dark and enclosed. I would have said inside a pipe or something, because it looks like a giant pipe. And the really cool, another thing, when I was working on X-Files years ago, I used to be in the movie industry. I worked on a television show called The X-Files, and there was one set that we put together was this giant pipe. It was supposed to be underground Russian spy transportation system or something silly. But we were building the pipeline basically, and we were adding struts, and we were adding angle irons and all these other things. And I was inside this pipe for like a couple days, and it felt like this. Like, it felt claustrophobic, and it felt really like, but breathless is the word I want to give. Like, you can't really get a good deep breath. I was finding I had to leave a lot, so we'd do some work in there and then have to leave and get outside, get some fresh air, and then come back and work some more. And then it was really a slow process because of that. I don't even know how the camera crew would have gotten there after us, but this is the feeling he's giving me. He's kind of saying this, it was a similar feeling for him being in there, except that they were transporting the coal, transporting the goods, he's saying. But he said it was his livelihood. He really didn't have a choice in the matter. Like, he was doing it, again, he's talking about family, doing it for his family, and he left family behind. And I think this is the point he wants to bring in. He wants family to know that he did it for them, and he had no regrets. Wow, pretty powerful. But he left little ones behind. They weren't even old. They were little kids. Yeah, be curious who they were. I'm hearing a name John. I think that's a very common name though, but I'm hearing John. Oh, he's giving me a pain in my head now again. Okay. So let me just go with that. No, he stepped away and now I've got somebody else. Oh, it's active here. Who knew? Like, oh. Oh yeah, it's weird. It's just like all in here. But then I feel like he's stepping back, and the next one coming in just gave me a huge pain in the head right here. Oh, what is that? I feel like something's happening in my eye, like something other hit me here, hit me in the eye, hit me in the head. Because now I can't see out of the one eye, I can only see out of the other one. And it's like really sore. Something happened with a head wound or injury. Yeah, somebody had one eye. Because I'm seeing everything like I have one eye, which is really bizarre. I'm used to being able to see everything, right? And see peripheral, but this is like, I gotta see over there. Yeah, I wonder who this was. But he's saying I wasn't a pirate. So I was not a pirate. No, we're on Pirate's Lane, but I was not a pirate. Oh, okay. He feels like he was going back and forth. He says he used to go back and forth between, he's calling it the mainland here, the mainland and the island. He was transporting stuff. I feel like he was actually on the ship though. He was somebody that worked on one of the ships or on the docks. Now I'm curious where they hung the two men. I feel like it was down there. So maybe we'll go down there and check that out too. Oh, but I just got feeling sick to my stomach again. So what is that? I feel like somebody just wants to vomit. Ugh, it's a horrible feeling. Lucky you're not feeling this. Like, oh. Yeah, it's just like, it's like, you know, when you feel like you're going to throw up, and you have that bile that you feel and it wants to, that's what I'm feeling. I know it's not me. I'm 100% healthy. And I haven't eaten anything, so it's not that. I'm like, what is it? So somebody is showing me being sick. Okay, so this man, he feels very big. Like I feel like I just grew to like 6 feet. He's big, muscular. He's very much he's saying strong man. So I don't know what that meant for him, but feeling like I've got power. I've got girth. I'm a man that people would look at and go, oh, and kind of move out of the way when he's coming towards them. But he's saying his bark was worse than his bite. He's saying that he looked big and he looked scary, but he was actually a teddy bear. Very gentle giant. But he looked mean, he looked menacing. I'm just seeing this look on his face like, piss off with the world or something. You know, like, He wasn't very happy near the end. Lots went wrong in his life. Like he's trying to give me a little journey of his life, and he's saying just lots of bad stuff happening to him throughout his life, and then that just sent him off a trajectory that was going the wrong way. This could have been one of the hangmen, because he's talking about how his life was just a normal, typical life around here, which was, at one point, there was a lot going on, as we all now know, with residential schools and children being taken away from their families and all kinds of really bad scenarios. And I feel like he's talking about being a part of the system, getting lost in the system, and how he was happy when he was really little, and then things all changed, and he just keeps showing me like very tumultuous, very lots of trauma, lots of things going on in the family that weren't good. And that's what kind of sent him, the way he's showing it to me. It's almost like looking at a graph of somebody's life where, you know, it's kind of going like this, everything's great, and then it starts to escalate, and then it goes and then just ends. Like, it's a really bizarre thing. It's almost like a heartbeat on one of those monitors. It did not end well for him. Yeah, just getting a lot of anger at the end of his life. Anger, resentment, pain, frustration. He was not at peace. Showing me an eagle soaring now. Showing me a huge eagle soaring. And just talking about freedom. Now he's free. Free like an eagle. So looking at the coal mine disaster, there's some names there that pop out. There is a John Carnahan. There's a John Rollo. There is a Robert Kelly and a Robert MacArthur. So there's quite a few names there, as that would have been from the mining disaster, the coal mine disaster. So potentially it was these men. that I felt.